Okay, guys. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm excited about this episode. 2 weeks out from Executive Fight Night number 9, and why don't we start with introductions? So if you guys can just start over here and tell us a little about yourself, your name, and whatever you want to share.
All right. I'm Darren Simmons. I'm 34. He's 24. Let's start with that. I've got 4 kids. I work for a financial services company. I just moved back to Salt Lake. I was the owner of Legends St. George for a minute. That's a whole different story that's probably its own podcast, honestly.
Yeah.
With how much craziness we went through to get that reopened.
Yeah.
Been coming to Legends for just over 4 years now. Started at Bountiful. Juan Valencia was my first coach, first class I took. I knew within about 10 minutes of meeting him, like, okay, cool, I can commit to this. I want to do this. And 4 years later, I've been a member coach, an owner, a head coach, and kind of just run the entire gamut with Legends.
Nice.
And it's cool to finally be bringing that to the head of fighting.
Awesome. Excited. Okay.
Me too.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have as much of a boxing background as my opponent over here. My name's Nathan Smith, though, and I've been boxing for about 3 years. I started in Cache Valley with Coach Ryan Gregory over there, and I only trained there for about 4 months. I was on the sparring team for a bit. I tried to get some fights, and then my name was put in for 3, and they all fell through. And then I had to go to college. Well, I chose to go to college, and frankly, there's only so much you can keep up with on your own, and I probably created more bad habits there than I improved. And so I came here to Lehigh just, what was that, man, about 9-10 months ago, maybe a year ago. I don't even know. And started working with Robbie. He's getting me in shape, and I'm excited for this fight. It's going to be really good.
Great. Yeah. No, that's cool. It's interesting stories. One of my favorite parts about Executive Fight Night is the diverse backgrounds. It's not typical how the matchups work, how we bring things together. Normally what happens because this is a sanctioned USA official match, you guys will have a record after this. We have to follow all the rules of USA Boxing, and that's what makes it real. What makes the training worth it is that this isn't just some tough man competition. It's the real deal. And in a typical environment, there'll be a date posted on USA Boxing's website, and your coach will say, hey, you want to fight? And then they work with the other coaches, and they do all the behind-the-scenes stuff to make sure that they match up appropriately, and then you accept the fight and move forward. And that's typically how it's done. The way we do it is we kind of do it a little bit backwards, where we have a lot of people sign up or they apply, and we go through kind of a rigorous screening process of application, background, send in a video request, then we set up a video call, then go through all these things, and then finally, if you get selected, then we go and find a matchup for you. And then oftentimes throughout training camp, we switch fighters up. And the reason we do that is we want to make sure that we give everybody a fair fight, right? And so we still kind of end up the way that it would have worked out in the beginning with coaches matching each other up. But we've done it in such a roundabout way. So it does make things interesting, because my job is I try to make sure that we pay attention to how training is going. And the fans don't want to see somebody just get bullied, right? The fans want to see 2 people competing. And that's why we take this 9-week training camp so seriously. This is not easy. So how's your experience, Darren, been so far in the training camp? What are you learning from it?
So learning that recovery at 34 is definitely not what it is at 24. I've been primarily, I get shin splints real easily. So I've been swimming, and that's been because of my schedule. I can't get to Jordan Landing in the morning. So swimming and lifting in the morning, and then either take a class or do sparring at Jordan Landing at night.
Swimming's great for this. Good type of exercise.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate that's what I did in high school. I swam competitively.
Cool.
So I even have a good routine for that, leading up to the fight, and tapering off to optimize. But it's definitely been I probably haven't been in this much soreness since high school.
Yeah, it's eye opening, isn't it? How about you? What are you taking away?
Pain. A lot of pain. Yeah, kind of like Darren's saying, it's a constant, just 100% effort, and that's really difficult. The hardest thing is the recovery. The hardest thing is what happens outside of the gym. The biggest thing I'm struggling with is honestly my diet, making sure I'm at the required weight, because I'm burning such a huge amount of calories. I'm at this point where if I'm not eating 3,200 calories a day at least, I'm losing weight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my maintenance. So that's difficult. There's also the soreness, constant shin splints like Darren's talking about. And I am 24, okay, and I'm still struggling to recover. So it's really tough. And then also managing stuff at home.
Yeah.
My wife has made it abundantly clear that she doesn't want me fighting after this because I don't see her anymore.
Yeah, it's a commitment. There's a reason why we have people sign an agreement, right? It's not uncommon that that people will watch a fight or attend a fight night or watch Jake Paul fight or something like that and go, "Oh, I could do that. That looks easy. Why didn't he knock that guy out? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that?" And then once you actually experience it, it's dramatically different. Like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. I think you guys now at the level that you're training at, it's not like you didn't understand boxing. It's not like you guys both had sparred before. You both have taught classes with sparring, and now you're training to fight. Now you guys are seeing the dramatic difference, the time commitment, right? The mood too. You know, like
Right, the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, it's a drinking water through a fire hose. So we bring those contracts into place because reality starts to set in, and the commitment that you go through, you start to rethink it. And some people, halfway through, they go, "Oh, I can't do this. I didn't realize what this was." But those people end up walking away with the best testimonial because they finished it. It doesn't matter win, lose, or draw. They won because they finished, and that's what matters. So as far as working with coaches and working with your teammates and going through the different sparring partners, how do you feel like you're holding up, Darren? How do you feel like you're doing with that?
First off, I'm super grateful for Fina and Demetrius. They're doing an awesome job training all of us. I'm trying not to give away the plot here, but like having Demetrius as a training partner is a distinct advantage. Like knowing somebody who has, a pro who can train to or spar at whatever level he wants.
I actually sparred him my first time at Lehigh, and frankly, he made me feel like an idiot. So I can imagine it's something.
So last, we'll say, I think I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Monday, I was kind of feeling myself in sparring. I was doing, I was going against less experienced guys, and because I'm fight training, I'm kind of bullying them. Then I got in the ring with Demetrius, and he was like, "That shit's not what you need. You need me." And I don't know if that's the exact quote. I hope he's not going to get offended by me quoting him, but he'll kick my ass if I do. So,
well, I think it's an eye opener, right? Because there's levels.
Sorry, I was trying to get to that point.
Yeah, the eye opener is there's levels to this. Right? The pro means something, and you've kind of earned the right to be a professional athlete, and to be a professional at anything requires quite the commitment of time, bandwidth, talent. So yeah, you are getting that type of training, and also what it feels like to be humbled a little bit by somebody that's got another skill. I remember, speaking of kind of feeling yourself, I know what that's like. It was actually before my very last fight. A lot of times I work with new fighters and get in the ring with them, and I can get away with stuff or be lazy or not have to work hard because I've just been doing this for a long time. So I don't have the fear and adrenaline and all those things. And I realized during this, prior to my fight, that I started developing a bunch of bad habits. So I flew to California and did a training camp with my old coach. And for 2 days straight, I got the living hell beat out of me and reminded me that I can't get away with the things that I could do when I'm working with new fighters. And experienced people definitely change the game and the understanding of the game. So what's your experience been like so far? What have you taken away most from sparring and all the different opponents you've been working with?
Yeah, well, for starters, a big shout out to my coaches. We got Terry, Wes, and Robbie, and all three of those guys are phenomenal coaches. I can tell they care about me. They want me to improve. And quite frankly, knowing that they believe in me and having them cheering me on in my corner it's been a huge benefit, not just to my improvement as a fighter and an athlete, but also just this big support mentally and helping me to get through this training camp. So it's been really good. And then we got the team sparring here at Lehigh, and frankly, we have a lot of fighters fighting out of Lehigh. And because of that, I don't feel like a ton of steps above everyone else. I have a lot of people close to my skill level that I'm sparring with, and that's been a huge benefit. There's also a lot of different styles and all kinds of things that I feel like I'm learning. I'm taking them away, and I wouldn't want to train anywhere else.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it is a good feeling to know that you've got a tribe and a team of people there to support you. You know, Darren, you've been to a lot of different gyms, right? Mm-hmm. And with Legends, my goal is always the same, that no matter where you're from, what your background is, no matter how big Legends get, how small Legends, it should always feel the same, that sense of belonging, that you have a tribe of people that are there with the same interest in mind, and that's to make you feel like you belong. And it doesn't matter if you're fighting or if you're, somebody with two left feet. Our job is to help people feel like they've got a tribe. You know, I think on this earth, we sometimes feel like we're walking alone and we're dealing with life's challenges, and we have so many complications that come at us at all different directions, right? That's what makes life difficult sometimes. And what I love about Legends is that there is a place for you to go to. There's a place that people do understand and they care about you. They want to see you succeed. And that could be succeeding in sparring. It could be succeeding in getting through the class or succeeding in showing up that day. So really, I think we've done our job if you walk out of the door every day and you go, I feel like I have a home here. And it's one of my greatest joys about this company and about what we're trying to continue to build off of is that foundation. And because so many different types of people, so many different walks of life come through our doors in many different states, and we can go anywhere. I can drive down to St. George and it feels just like I'm in Lehigh, or go to any of the gyms and it feels just like I'm in Lehigh. I really enjoy that part. Of course, you get the diversity, but the core, if the gym is being run correctly, it is that belong feeling. How does it feel going from St. George, going to Lehigh, then ended up in Jordan Landing?
Nate alluded to it earlier, and you had as well. Like the little switches that had gone on between who's fighting who. It's a little bit to adjust to, but honestly, not much. It's been, like you said, I know you gave it out as homework to the franchisees to watch the founder. It's that same level of consistency. Like whether I'm taking a class with Hunter in St. George or Fina or Isabel or Demetrius up here, like it's the same class. I know I'm getting that same great Legends experience. And that has been, it's honestly just changing the location of my tribe. Like
that's well put. Yeah, I love that. Changing the location of your tribe. Like that's a great way to put it. I think having that extension, I love hearing when people go on vacation or they happen to be in, Maryland, Texas, and they jump in and take a class with Willina and Donald and their group and their tribe, that it didn't feel any different than going to Lea Vista in Florida. That tribe, I've yet to go to that location, but I'm really excited to be able to walk in the doors, and I believe it's going to be the exact same experience being there. What's your takeaway with the tribe feeling in this camp?
Yeah, I really haven't been to as many gyms as Darren has. But I will say it felt like a family when I was in Cache Valley, and same thing, it feels like a family here. It's been awesome coming through those doors every single day, and there's plenty of people in the gym saying, hey, how you doing? You excited for this fight? Are you ready for this fight? I know you're going to win this fight. Again, mentally, that does wonders.
Yeah, I mean, and that belief system of win, lose, or draw, you're both walking out winners on top of something. Of course, winning that belt and having that visualized over wherever you're going to hang it, that's important, and that's I expect you guys to both bring your all and everything. I have zero doubt that after your match that people are going to be on their feet going, wow, that was a good match. I'm kind of I don't like to take credit. It's uncomfortable for me, but I think one of the biggest takeaways is I think I matched up everybody pretty good this time. I mean, I think it is hard sometimes to get the right mixture of people, I am excited about your guys' bout. I think it is matched up great. It's going to be very entertaining. You have two different styles, and I've been able to spar with both of you, so it's fun to be able to see that. So with all this being said, there's because you guys both have been part of Legends and have got to experience different tribes of Legends and different classes, and now you're in a training camp, it really opened my eyes to some things that we're going to be introducing and promoting, starting at the Executive Fight Night. We have these new classes that are being introduced called the skills class, the mitts class, and then our sparring class, where it's all curriculum based. What I noticed was I would take our classes, which is, boxing with a heavy emphasis on fitness, and the coaches, depending on their skill level and their comfort level, are focusing more on the technique of boxing and sometimes more on the fitness side of boxing. But all of the workouts are centered around trying to help you become better as a boxer. So the light went off in my head, and I said, we need to build a class that is centered 100% on the skill of boxing. So now we'll be introducing, it's been in Lehigh for a couple months now, and we've been perfecting it, but we're going to be rolling it out to every gym in our system, and it's where people can go do their normal core fitness classes, get the conditioning in so that you're in shape for boxing and you're still learning the foundations of boxing, but then you can add the skills class, which allows you to learn the technical side of boxing, how to move your feet right, how to move your head, how to hit a double end bag, how to hit a speed bag. Like we started looking from head to toe. When you're in a class of 20 people, it's hard as a coach to really teach a lot of just that fundamental stuff. I mean, you've coached, you guys know what it's like. So now we have a new class where you can actually spend the entire hour teaching something. Where it dawned on me is I was training somebody for their fight and said, hey, go warm up on the speed bag. And she's a coach at one of our other gyms, and she didn't know how to use the speed bag. And I go, well, we are failing as coaches if we are not teaching people some of these basic fundamentals. So the skills class allows us to do that. So it'll be exciting now that after your guys' fight is over, that you'll be able to jump in and have a whole new perspective, right? So instead of taking a class, you've experienced it, and now you can continue on and start perfecting those skills and getting even better. What's your thoughts on that?
That is going to be awesome. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I definitely love the balance that goes into the core class, but if I can take an hour and, work on my boxing skills exclusively while I'm still fresh, I mean, that's going to be an awesome addition to us.
Yeah.
I think there's this common misconception that, at Legends Boxing, it's one of those fitness boxing places.
Yeah.
You guys, everyone watching or listening knows the ones I'm talking about. And that's just not the case. We have real fighters in here, and there's plenty of people that can kick my butt here at this very gym that we're in right now. There in Orem, we just got a dude that took state in Golden Gloves, right? So we got plenty of real fighters, and I think those skills are just going to add to this pool of real fighters that are talented and capable.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think it's interesting, when you're the leader, the target gets bigger, right? When you're on the top, you're not looking down at people, making fun of them, teasing them, and trying to belittle them, right? It's the people down below trying to knock you down, right? So I take it as a compliment when people view us as that, or they think that's disrespectful, when I think it's totally reasonable, and I hope they think of us like that. Being misunderstood is an advantage, and it's always extra frustrating, I think, sometimes for people that are not fans of Legends in our program, that when our guys show up and take regionals and go now competing in nationals on the 17th, we have Braxton, who's going to be competing, representing Legends Boxing for the state of Utah at nationals. That's pretty amazing. Beyond that, it's going to the Olympics, right? Like, that's, if he does really well in nationals, he could potentially be an Olympic athlete if he keeps going and keeps doing well. We also had another one of Eric from Orem's fighters. They got all invited to fight in Canada next weekend, and I can't remember the kid's name, but he's going to be headlining the fight. So to have our fighters not only fight in nationals, but then also be invited to headline a fight in another country, we're starting to make some waves with the legend system and our fighting style. And I think being misunderstood sometimes really does give us an advantage because they don't see you coming. And then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, those guys aren't just fitness boxing, right? I do love fitness boxing. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that what I want everyone to understand is boxing is for everyone. Like, we want to make sure that people that walk through this door, whatever door it is, that they feel like they're part of it. And if this is the workout that you choose and that's the extent of your boxing journey, that's great. There's no devalue to anybody else that is going further than that, right? I think sometimes people feel like because this isn't a gym where you go in and get beat up every single day, that devalues the product that you're offering. And so it's got to feel good, knowing that you guys are competing in front of a sold out crowd and that you're also representing the same gym that has a state champ and a regional champ and potentially could be a nationals champ. I mean, I think the last person to do that for Utah was my brother. I mean, I think it's been that long. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's been a while since we've had a Utah champ heavyweight represent our state. So it's kind of exciting. And I know that it's the same time as Executive Fight Night. So I'm letting Eric off the hook of being here for that, but I know he's going to help our guys look really good. So that'll be exciting. You guys will be fighting the same time that our Orem guys are going to be fighting.
Way cool.
So what's the next goal after you get in, you guys compete? One of you two has to win, obviously. And what's next after that?
I got to see my wife. I got to spend a lot more time with my wife.
That's a wise man.
We got a lot of dates coming up, and yeah, getting back to my home life and frankly just being happy again. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
I get it.
This is torture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's okay. And I love it. It's a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
And I'm a man. If I didn't do this, I'd hate myself for the rest of my life.
I think if it were easy, everyone would do it and it would be devalued. And the reason it's so hard, and when I do these initial interviews with everybody, I hopefully sell it as, are you sure you want to do this? This is going to be torturous. Your wife is not going to like you for 9 weeks and your family's not going to be happy with this decision, but this is what you're signing up for. So I think you're very wise in having that as your next goal.
She agrees, yeah.
Yeah, I bet. What's your next goal?
Being single, I don't have a lot of dates lined up, but
after this fight, you will.
Yeah, you get that belt.
There we
Your
go.
Tinder profile is going to blow up.
we will we'll see on that one.
Unless
But,
you borrow the belt for a photo op for your Tinder.
There you go.
There we go. I love the smack talk. For me, it'll just be more focus on work, just staying healthy. I don't know that I'll do another fight again. We'll see.
That's good.
But I'm also, so in addition to just kind of focusing on work, getting my licensing done, I will also be launching an e-commerce thing.
Cool.
Sorry, didn't mean to swallow my words there. The idea being $5 from every T-shirt that we sell. I don't know if you saw my logo on the thing, Valhalla Boxing.
Yeah.
Originally, that was just the LLC I bought or established to buy St. George, and now I'm going to use it for a Shopify and Printful store.
Cool.
And the idea being $5 from every shirt we'll give to like a charity of the month.
Love it.
First one we're going to do is going to be Better Utah in conjunction with the fight.
Love it. Yeah. Well, we'll definitely promote that for you. It's always nice. I ask you this question for a reason. What you're going to notice, because both of you guys are training very hard, and this particular group of fighters, again, this is our 9th year of doing this, and every year it's kind of a unique experience. I mean, we try to run this as a well-oiled machine, but every year it's a unique group. And this group, I haven't seen anybody slacking. Like, everyone has been pretty much bringing it and putting in their heart and soul. So what I want you to be cautious of, and what happens is you work towards something and you apply something at such a high level that you get to a peak, right? And then after the peak, what typically happens is this crash. And so having that goal and having that mindset of not looking past the date, like the date is the main focus, but also be mindful of that you've got to continue to have another thing that you're working towards and working on and putting energy into. I think this allows you to show who you are and what you're made of, and you can do hard things. And there's very few people that actually will do what they say they're going to do when it comes to this level of intensity. Most people quit. They start something, they have in their mind this picture of what it's going to look like, but then the hard work begins, and pretty soon that commitment or that excuse or that reason or whatever becomes a justification, and then they don't see it through. And then, like you said, they would regret it for the rest of their life if they didn't. So I'm excited. I'm proud of you guys for both stepping up the plate and being willing to put your time, soul, energy, and normal life on pause while you're creating this intense environment. But I can promise you, when you're done with this, you'll look back and go, that was one of the greatest things I've ever done. It's going to be hard to beat that. So with that being said, any last comments or things that you'd like your audience to know to be ready for this fight?
I'll keep it simple. Just it's nothing personal, Nate.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to it. I've been training hard, and frankly, it's different for us because we sparred each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like we
it's
sparred
gonna
each
be
other
very
beforehand. But frankly, I'm younger. I'm more athletic. I think I have a better control of the basics. Darren will probably disagree, but it's going to be a good fight, and I'm going to come out on top.
Yeah.
All right, I have to get the last word in here.
No, you don't.
There's 10
The
more
door's
years.
right there.
10 more years of life kicking my ass. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm
I
joking.
think you guys
It's
both
gonna be fun.
bring some energy that I'm excited about, and this is going to be cool because when this, the app that I was showing you guys on the group text with the red and the blue team, they'll be able to see your guys' profile, and there's going to be a link to this episode on your guys' profile so that people can click, and this will be there forever, and they'll be able to go back and listen and read, and you'll be able to see what you said and how it ended.
Great.
So it's going to
Cool.
be nice.
So all the stuff I muttered under my breath, that's permanent. I don't think I really did, but I was gonna. When it comes to the fight of the night, I mean, thanks to I've been moving around, and most of my audience is 300 miles away. I'm not going to sell a lot of tickets, but I can pretty much guarantee fight of the night right here.
Good. I'm excited. Your ticket sales actually just popped up. So
Nice.
The link to paid per view will be online this week as well. So you're 300 mile away. People will get to be able to vote for fight of the night just as if they were there live. So they'll be able to interact. Like this app that we're developing is going to be so freaking cool with fight of the night and who they think is going to win. We've got a whole trivia game, and I think your fans are going to be pretty happy that you guys did this. They're going to be entertained at your expense. So
Love it.
Hell yeah.
cool. Well, thanks for being here, guys. And I know you guys have training to do, so like and subscribe and listen to this wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll be excited for the night. Okay, have a good
Nice.
one.